is Apex and what is Apex and what is the focus of this training? What will you be able to do at the end of this training? And what are the capabilities of Apex? To use Apex, what you should know, how much you should know, what you should know, and after this training, what will you be able to do? We're going to discuss all these things in today's demo class so that you'll have an idea of Apex and its usage for you. Basically, earlier when it comes to web application development, it was very tedious. You had .NET, PHP, Java, and there was extensive coding required. But the main credit of Apex is it's a browser-based environment. If you have used Visual Basic or tools with GUI interface, you'll feel very comfortable with Apex because everything is web-based and it's more of drag and drop, and it is very simple. The application does not require any great knowledge of any programming language. It's enough to know basic database and basic SQL. So Application Express is shortly called as Apex. Earlier it was called HTML-DB and released by Oracle. Why it was called HTML-DB is it is a combination of database and HTML. So even now it is the same. The name is changed with increased capabilities. So this was supported by Oracle and it's been very popular because of the link application. And one second. And about the popularity of Apex, nowadays it's becoming a common development tool for personal applications or intranet and internet applications. Colleges have their intranet applications, and even Oracle have developed their application with Apex, one of their applications, which I'll show you later in this class. And since it is 100% browser based, the development is very simple and it is very quick. So it's widely preferred by people who want fast development. And how you go about when you want to develop your own application in Apex, what all can you do? It is since it can be installed locally, you can download your own version of Apex and you can just go ahead and create your application. And you can also have it on a cloud environment. That is the second one. The third is Oracle itself gives a cloud subscription. You can use their cloud instance for an initial period of 60 days. After that, which you need to pay a small amount for as a usage cost, and you can use Oracle's public cloud, or you can use your own on-premise local cloud when you have a company and each department is using Apex, and you can host go about hosting it. So what you can do with Apex, what scope Apex has for you is that I have listed some 4 applications which were developed with Apex and the time frame in which they were developed. You can see the second one, web collaboration application. It was just developed in 2 days, which I'll show you just a screenshot, and the customer survey. These are all common applications and they require just 1 or 2 days or few hours possibly, because once you get the basic knowledge of Apex, you can just It's a matter of few hours. And what kind of applications you can develop? Data-driven applications is like where you have department-wise data and you which are existing in various departments, say HR and finance and other modules, and you want to have it database centric, and maybe if you are the higher management, you want to see them all in a centralized place. So when you need higher management reporting and stuffs like that, you can create applications with Apex. And since the reports are very simple to develop, it's simple SQL queries, and the additional capabilities which the report has to offer, you can easily customize with the wizards that come built in with Apex. And there are forms where you need to get input data. So when you need to do some modernization with your forms, and you can keep it device and upload the data directly. So when you have data coming from your third-party systems, you want to upload them, create your own application, and have it a customized local one or cloud-based. You can just receive the spreadsheets, upload them, which is just a which is just a click away. So these are the kinds of applications which you can develop with Apex. These are just screenshots from applications which were developed earlier, which I showed you. This is one of the example of such an application. This is called an article review, where you can see that messages are shown and you have articles you have downloaded. If you see the look and feel itself, you get an idea of its simplicity to develop. If you see this button, select interest areas or update your personal information, these are just buttons where Apex provides you an option to add a button. You just need to click and add this button. And each of this messages, this area, it's called a region. And articles you have downloaded, this is called region. So basically, you will develop region by region. Once you have a framework of what you need, we are going to design region by region, put whatever we need into those particular region. For example, here you see a drop down N. So this is a region where we have added a drop down list box, and this is where select interest areas is a button we have added. So the development in the development process, the basic units like messages is a region, manager profile is a region, and inside each of the region you have items. And button is one of the example here. That we'll go into detail when we go into development. Just I'm giving you an overview. Page is the basic unit in your application. If you're going to design an application, you will design what all pages you need, which page should link with what. If you have this basic structure in your hand, you can right away go and start our development. So what kind of applications can be created? It's a glimpse I've shown here. If you have a tracking application, say for example a shipment tracking or a post or courier tracking or data modeling, data normalization, all that abilities Apex has. Even a query hub, feedback, and end user web sheets which you can upload directly. You can create mobile applications. This is one such example of an simple Apex application, customer survey. This was developed just in 2 hours. So here again, if you see, you can see a choice of radio buttons. So you need not go about writing code. Apex already has radio button item. We just need to drag and drop say how many radio buttons you need, what should be set when one is selected, what should be the output. If you see the comments box, this is a built-in item where you say, okay, for comments, have a text box with so much character length. All you need is to drag and drop. Similarly, for the continue button, there are default buttons given by Apex, and if you don't want them, you want your own functionality, you can create those buttons as well with just a click. Survey administration, this was created in about half a day. Here again, you can see various items. Just show the items that this example. Cancel, delete, changes. These are all various buttons which Apex offers by default. And create choice is something which we have created as a custom button. And this is a text box. This is a drop-down list. And these are radio buttons. This is a simple text box. So all these are already available. When you go with the help of the wizards, they guide you through the process, and it's easy to design your page very quickly. This is another example application I've put. It's a testing application where you may have a true or false question and you need to store the answers. So such applications can also be designed easily. So these are all tabs: take test, admin test, applicants. You can create tabs like this. It's very simple. For example, say for example, I want to click on reports. I will assign this with the help of Wizard. When the user clicks report, okay, go to this page. So it's as simple as that. Now I'm coming into the components of Apex. Like, we know what we how we are going to do, what all tools we have in hand, so that we can proceed with the development. There is not much confusion as to hundreds of tools and you don't know which icon to click. There's nothing like that. There are just three main classifications of the components. One is administration. This is mainly for when there are multiple members working on a project in the same Apex environment. We need to make sure that each one is having their own workspace so that my work does not override with your work, and so on, to manage that. And for the security purpose, like your username, password, like everyone need not have access to all the applications. I can segregate who should access what application. So, and who are the users, how do they use it, their level of activity, where are they confined not to use. All those administration, database and the application administration are taken care in this section. Under administration, you have 4-5 icons. I showed you 3 icons here. So, and within these few icons, all the actions are done. So there is no need to master all the icons and their functions. The second one is the SQL workshop, which is the interface to the backend process. Application builder is where you go about your front-end development. So just 3 simple things: one for administration, one for backend, one for front-end. In the backend, it's Oracle SQL. If you know a basic SQL and PL/SQL knowledge, sufficient to develop applications in Apex. And if you're going to develop a very simple application, you need not have that also. When you go for complex applications, you need to write procedures or functions or queries. That time it will be helpful if you have a basic SQL knowledge. So here again, what we do, we can, like how we view in the database the data dictionary, like the tables, procedure, views, triggers, sequences, how we can have a data dictionary view in the database. Similarly, you can have the same view in Apex with the object browser icon. In this section under object browser, you can see all the objects in the database, and editing them, creating them, modifying them, everything can be done here. There is no need to go and even if you want to alter it. So query builder, you have to write complex queries with a lot of filter conditions. Instead of writing it, you can use query builder, add the conditions, just it's a select drop down and you can see your results. SQL commands is the IDE where you will be typing your commands. SQL scripts is if you have a .SQL script already which will do predefined functions instead of copy pasting all that job, just you can upload the SQL script and execute them. Utilities is where you will have lot of options like loading the spreadsheet data, and there are these other options basically in the application builder is through which you are going to do the development. So if you say an application, this depends upon the complexity of your application. So it's very simple, and the classification is into just 3 categories: front end, back end, and managing. Managing is done by administration. So the details of what each component can do, which I discussed just now. And this is a glimpse of what features are there when you go into application development. What all you can do? First is you can create reports, forms, and you can create charts. Like if you have used Excel sheet, you know the various charts: pie charts, bar diagram, line charts, scattered charts. All charts can be created, and calendar, pop-up calendar, and templates. Navigation is what when you move from one page to another. If I click a button in page 1, it should go to page 5. That is called navigation, and doing that is nothing but branches. You're branching from page 1 to page 5. Validations are something like when you submit a page, you want to check certain fields. Certain fields should be null, some should not be null, some should be numeric, and all those conditions you can put under validations. Processes are the PL SQL processes which you want to execute on clicking a particular button or when you submit a page. And there is a provision to send email as well. You have web services, and authentication, as I said, you can have who can access what. That will be coming under authentication and authorization. And monitoring the usage of the database and application, who have logged in, who has logged, how much they have used, what all pages they have modified, all those reports you can get here. So there are numerous features in Apex with a very user-friendly environment. And now I'm going to show you something which is a live Apex application example. It is an Oracle store. Oracle has designed its own Oracle store application with Apex, and it's I'll show it to you. A store where you can purchase various Oracle products, and this is designed by Apex. For example, let me say I'm going to purchase some system components. So this is all a drop down list, which is an item. So on clicking on selecting a particular drop, so you can see there are so many products that is there, and whatever I need I can select and go on. So this is an example of purchasing system components, or if you want to go to cloud, you can purchase that as well. If you see here, so this is where we interpret that this is an Apex application. Okay, you will have an application ID, a page number, all that. We'll see how to interpret this URL into an Apex application. So as you saw, this is one example of a live Apex application. There's one more. It's called partner.oracle.com. You can have a view as well. So what you will learn in this training, it is the most important part. What Apex has so much, and what Apex has to offer you in this training is you will create your own application, and in that application we will try and add all the features that are available, most of the features, each one for an example, and you'll be creating pages, and in the pages we'll have and a wizard page. So the basic and the most commonly used page types, we'll be adding it and we'll create a application. And in each of the pages, adding items and various process validations. We'll put functionalities and check how to work with them, and how Apex reacts when the when the regions are being modified, when you add new page, when you want to delete a page, and basically we will create a whole packaged application. How you can directly go and begin to develop an application from the scratch. So after you attend this training, you will be able to develop your own application. It will be very useful, and you can learn it easily. And not only creating a standalone application, how you can borrow components from other applications, and how you can implement security, and then there are number of pages, how you are going to manage the navigation, and mainly there are so many built-in wizards available with Apex, how we are going to use their power to the fullest, so that we as a developer have very little work to do. So at the end of this training, you will be really good enough at Apex to develop your own application from scratch. And when you work in a big project, you will be definitely able to understand the existing Apex project and debug them, or fix the bugs, and so on. So this is the course objective. Hope you had a nice introduction to